Okay, Blues. It is Saturday night. It is 18 minutes past 11. We are. I was going to say we're out of the Champions League. We are the Champions League losers tonight. This is hard. This is very, 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 very hard. I'm trying to think of a good, some kind of placebo, some kind of how I feel about the game tonight. But I just feel it meh, a bit like I can't be the only person that feels that way about the game tonight. I really can't. How does everyone else feel about it? How do you listen to me talk about shit show? Is that a really good analogy for the game? Is that a good analogy for how you feel that the game went? It's hard. That was a hard defeat. It felt hard from my side of things anyway. Hi Dan, you okay, pal?
Yeah, not too bad, pal. Wish it was on better terms, but oh well.
That felt hard, mate.
Yeah, it was certainly a kick in everything that we all believed in on it, but it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Let's be honest. We gave it one hell of a running.
What was your thoughts then on the game in total then? Put yourself in the neutral camp. How do you feel it felt tonight?
If I'm being brutally honest, not one thing went right tonight. From the get-go, Pep didn't exactly start us off on the right foot, did he? Let's be honest. We all know Chelsea is a very fast counter-attacking team when they want to. We knew that in the previous two games we faced against them, and we knew that tonight. You can't go into that game without, if you're playing Walker and Zinchenko, two of our most attacking fullbacks, you can't go into that game without a defensive midfielder to hold that line up, especially when you're only wanting to play free at the back. It just doesn't work. But at the end of the day, it's not down all to Pep tonight. None of the players really stepped up. There was no one that really took the game by the scruff of the neck, and we did get our just desserts. But full credit to Chelsea. They had a game plan. They scored a goal. They put the ball in the back of the net, and they defended well. Many people are going to say that they're not worthy champions because of that. They set out the game plan and they did it well. But the biggest letdown for me tonight was forcing myself to watch Sergio Aguero in floods of tears.
Oh,
I could that killed me. That really killed me. Just that boy had 10, 15 minutes max to try and do something. That's not enough. He deserved more, and we go again, boys. We go again. It's all we can do. Hey, we've never been in the Champions League final before. It's progress, but fucking hell, we're Premier League champions. We won a League Cup. That's two trophies. Go back 15 years ago, none of us would have even had the inkling of a dream of that. So this season's been good considering. So I'm happy either way.
come on, Chris. Give us a positive.
Yeah, Chris, mate.
Yeah, all right, lads. Honestly, the positive for me is that Pep changed it early on in the second half. I'm not being. I mean, everyone knows how I felt about the Leon game. As a lot, even you, Tom, after that Leon game, were fuming. When we saw the lineup today, I think every City fan was scratching their heads because the question was, is it going to be Fernandinho or Rodri? and Pep decided it was going to be neither. He was going to play Gundogan in that role, even though Gundogan's been our top goal scorer and has been exceptional going forward in the box. He just got it right. You know, Pep tried to do something. I mean, it's not going to be easy if you look at both teams, Chelsea and City. But we've only conceded 4 goals each in the Champions League this season. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, up against it, he took a risk. Luckily, because of how shite Timo Werner is, we went in at half-time only 1-0 down. Werner should have had a hat-trick in the first half. He wasted chance after chance, and we stayed in the game. Edison made a couple of good saves. I know Nicky Weaver was saying he shouldn't really have come out for Kai Havertz's goal. He made the wrong decision, but it's what Edison's done. It's what he does. You know, we all know what he's like. Like I said, Kevin going off, I don't think had a massive impact on the game personally. I don't. He put a couple of good balls in. But for me, when Fernandinho came on and went into his normal role, and Gundogan went into his normal role, Foden ended up out where he's supposed to be. We played really good football. We had a couple of chances. Aguero had, a half chance. Mahrez at the end, unlucky. Just put it over. He's just one of them. He's just, he's not as big. Like Dan's just said. I mean, a few weeks ago, when we won the league, we had the chat, and I'd never really got to answer the question of whether we've had a successful season or not. The fact is we have, because we've won back the Premier League, we've returned League Cup, and we reached the Champions League final, which we've never done. So, end of the day, he's gutting, especially for likes of Aguero. Fernandinho still hasn't extended his contract. I know they're looking at talks afterwards, but it's not 100% obviously that he's staying. So that's a shame. But, all I hope now is that we learn from this, because Pep Guardiola is the most successful manager we've ever had. And he's now been beaten 3 times in the last 6 weeks by the same team. And he's tried different players. Obviously, the first 2 isn't really fair. The FA Cup semi-final and the league. It's harsh to blame him for that, because we just had massive games in Europe. He was resting players, but then you could argue even our second team should be winning games. So for me, as long as next season we play Chelsea and we give him a right good thrashing and he learns from his mistakes. I listened to his post-match interview, which I thought was a little bit of a cop-out, but again, I'm not going to hold that against him, because I mean,
Chris,
he beats himself up.
I apologise, Chris. What was he saying, pal? I didn't hear it, so please tell me.
Post-match. So they asked a question about why he played Gundogan in that role, and he just said Gundogan's been playing in the middle all year, and he said he had a really good game. Which second half, he was playing a bit better. First, he hasn't been playing defensive mid all season. Mm-hmm. And then he was just firing off the same sort of prepared. Not prepared, because hopefully he wasn't going to be giving the loser speech, as it were. But it was very much the journalistic sort of responses. He tried his best. He just thought the best options of what he had, like after the Dortmund game, like after the PSG game, blah blah blah. But he beats himself so much. He's said in the past he'll be labelled a failure if he doesn't win the Champions League.
No, I'll jump in there, Chris. He is a failure. He is a failure.
You think he is?
He is a failure tonight.
Ooh.
He is. Pep Guardiola is a failure tonight because he chose the team that everybody in City Blue did not want him to play. I can't understand why he would play a formation and a team that he would not. I honestly generally can't. I'm looking back at the team. Hiya, City Dave. How you doing, pal? I can't understand why he played the team he played tonight. I honestly can't understand it. I'm looking
Tom,
back. I'm looking back at it, mate, and I just can't understand why he played the team he played tonight.
Tom, I've got to say, mate, right, I've got a degree in contemporary military and international history. I spent 2 years studying tactics and strategies. I'm very critical of the way City play a lot of the time. I always say it's hardest to find fault when you're winning stuff because you learn best when you lose.
Yeah.
I mean, you all say I'm the negative one because I do nitpick and stuff.
Yeah.
I am trying my utmost best
More than
today
that.
to find positives and to be more philosophical in my approach because I'm fuming, but I think I'm going to reflect more in a couple of weeks' time. And
I
totally agree with what you said. Every single City fan.
There's no positives tonight.
Single City
The only
positives.
The only positives City have tonight is I have a pack of Dexter dogs. That is in the new format of packaging. And if I'm lucky, it's going to be extra salty. It's not extra salty. It's shit. It's really poor. Actually.
Put it this way, it could be worse. Yeah. We could have lost 11-10 on penalties to Villarreal, a team that have never. At least Chelsea have been in numerous Champions League finals. That's their second or third final now.
Third, yeah.
They've won 2 of them.
I've just seen Thomas Tuchel walk in Chelsea's changing room with a bottle of champagne sprayed up and down, and it makes me feel like shit. He doesn't deserve it. He does, obviously, because he's won. Blah blah blah. Dave, tell me, give me something positive to think about tomorrow night, mate. For fuck's sake.
I wish there was something from my standpoint I could be positive about, but no, we got our tactics wrong from before the first whistle.
Yeah.
And I know you've all said that before I jumped on.
Yeah.
That whatever anyone says about trying to keep positive or whatever else, we should have played a defensive midfielder. It's as simple as that. Whether that was Rodri or whether that was Fernandinho, it was crying out for that. For 90 minutes, we couldn't keep hold of the ball. Every player, as Dan pointed out on Discord, was poor anyway. But I think if we'd had a defensive midfielder in there, that it would have helped things a little bit. We didn't show up, and that's my biggest surprise. That for the set of players that we have and the experience that they have, I know this was for everyone their first Champions League final. They didn't show up, and that's my biggest surprise. And Chelsea just wiped the floor with us, and that's my disappointment. My positive is I live in America. I had a full nice English breakfast this morning for the game, and I've had quite a few Guinnesses. So
that's not a positive. That's rubbing it in.
Just so everyone is absolutely clear on the wavelength we're all at. This is Leon times 10. Pep.
Nah.
Pep.
Yeah, I seem to be the more positive one.
Pep, fuck this up. Pep, fuck this up, guys. Don't misunderstand how things happened today. Pep Guardiola fucked this up on a scale that is Leon's over there and Chelsea's over here. Pep fuck this up, lads. Pep fuck this up. Don't kid yourself to think it's not the case.
Dan, you were right the other week, mate.
He did.
Dan, you were right the other week when you said this is his chance. If he doesn't win it, he should go.
And do you know what? I still hold myself to that because but I'm 50-50 with that, Tom. 100%, he fucked us up from the get-go. 100%. Why change your tactic that he's never done, in the important games and not play defensive mid, especially against the counter-attacking team? But at the same time, the players on that pitch, including the ones that he brought on, they're good enough to beat Chelsea. They really are. And the difference between that and Leon is he made changes and there were the right changes in the end. None of the players turned up. Pep did fuck us up. Hands down, he fucked us up.
I'm looking at a photograph now of Mason Mount kissing the trophy.
They deserve it. That's the sad truth. It's hard for us to accept. I know it is, and I believe me, it's me and Chris, hands down. This is no disrespect to yourself or Dave or any of the other admins. Well, little less on Dave. He's sort of been in mine and Chris's camp just slightly, but me and Chris have slated Pep more than any other City fan. We really have.
Oh, do you know what? You have a prime. You have a prime. I'm on your shoulders, lads. What do you want to say about him? I'll defend you tonight.
Can I just say, yeah,
what
right.
What would you like to say? I will defend you tonight.
Albert Einstein said,
"Fucking hell."
No, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is a sign of insanity. And Pep, again, he's Leon tonight. You know, they're the two main ones. Obviously, there has been other games where he's tinkered ridiculously with tactics, thinking they'll pay off. And this is my problem. Like I said, he is our most successful manager. No one can deny that. No one can take that away from the guy. I personally can't say he's the best because I don't think there's such thing as the best because you can't. Again, the way I think you can't compare managers. But the fact is, you know, he is making the same mistakes, and it's you know, when everybody's going to lose at some point. Everyone's losing. You know, people have bad days, but usually when you look at it, you can analyze the match and say, well, this player didn't play well, this guy didn't play well, or this sub was wrong, blah blah blah. The problems that Pep makes, the mistakes he makes, every time we always look back at it, every single fan has already seen that mistake. How many times have we said, you know, we look at a lineup and think, what is he doing? And then the game happens and all the questions we've been asking have all been proven right. That doesn't take a genius to work out that he's almost as if he's like the coach in Waterboy. He's an absolute genius, and then all of a sudden he's just lost the plot, and he's like sat in a corner with his hat over his eyes thinking, what do I do? And it's a shame because I'd rather have been sat here tonight, proven wrong.
I want to give my 5 pence worth. From my point of view, I looked at the team tonight. I looked at the first 11. I thought to myself, why? Everybody else thought, where's that holding midfielder?
Mm-hmm.
This tonight, I'm so disappointed in the opportunity to have played the team that everybody was. Pep just thinking, right, okay, like, oh, everyone knows what I'm going to play. Oh, well, I'll put a cheeky hand grenade in there and not play Rodri or Fernandinho. What an absolute pile of shit that was.
It's almost like a 14-year-old.
Everybody knew that's our key position. How would you, Dave? Just bail me out here, Dave. Why would you not play Fernandinho tonight?
And that's what I explained to Dan on Discord a little while ago. What you've just said is exactly right. I think that Pep was trying to be too clever. He knew that Tuchel thought that he was going to play the defensive mid and set up as usual. So I'm going to throw that complete curveball in there, and I'm going to have Gundo as my DM, and I'm going to have Bernardo Silva as my runner. And I honestly think that's the only thing that he can be thinking of, because that team was not going to work from the get-go. And I just think he was playing mind games with Tuchel, and it failed dismally.
What it comes across as, I don't know if it's the same with you lads, is it looks like Pep is trying to better Pep. From these decisions, like the Leon, you know, like the Real Madrid, I'll even throw that in. We won that game. From the outset, it looks like Pep Guardiola is picking his perfect City team and then picking a team that can counter that team. He's not thinking of the opposition. He's thinking of the team that can counter his team, and it doesn't work like that. The Real Madrid one, perfect example. He sets up his normal team. You've got Sergio Aguero up front. You've got Kevin De Bruyne sitting deep. You've got the perfect wingers in its day, Sane and Sterling. They're on fire. And he puts Jesus at left wing back, as you like to say it, and it worked a treat because it added pace on that side, and it worked. It made sense. This tonight, you look at that and thinking, oh, hang on, if I've got a Kante style Fernandinho in midfield, what's the best way to defeat him? Have 3 ball-playing, attacking midfielders to try and get round him. And he's thinking more, if we put all-out attack on here, we can score bags of goals and score against them. But he's catch-22'd himself because he doesn't take into the picture how good Chelsea's defence is, and especially their goalkeeper. Yeah. We played so many balls in over the top. He's 6 foot fucking 6. The only players I saw going in for them height balls was Foden and Sterling. I think they're like 5'8" and 5'11". It doesn't make sense.
Do not get me started on Raheem Sterling tonight.
Mahrez as well, you have to throw in that. From what Mahrez has put in this season, that both them two, particularly Sterling, that I've never known Sterling play so bad.
I can't understand. Raheem Sterling tonight was like, we have our 11 players. Oh, we've got a 13th player. Let's chuck him in. Let's just randomly chuck a lad in. That's like.
Thing is, I can't blame Raheem for it.
Dave, Raheem Sterling tonight was the lad that what's like that? It's not like the 12th player. Like I can't understand. I just can't get my head around it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it.
I really, really believe that Sterling will be sold this summer.
Do you know what, mate? 60 million minimum. 60 minimum quid. If we're lucky, 60 million quid, I would drive him to the airport.
I think what happened today was, I honestly believe that Pep obviously wanted to change his formation anyway, but he said to Sterling, I mean, they're not stupid. You've read social media, you've read the papers. Like, this is your chance to go prove it. Prove why you should be in this starting 11. And I know that sounds stupid because it was the biggest game in our history, in my opinion. It was the Champions League final. But I think Pep said to Sterling, go and prove yourself.
Yeah.
And he didn't. I will be stunned if Sterling is in a blue shirt in August.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't really understand if he is in a blue shirt next year, what his motivations are. I'll be amazed. I don't really understand. If he's a City player next year, I need to understand what his motivations are from him. I would love him to do one of those like shiny City podcast things that the City team and
Tom, that's why I said to you in the previous podcast earlier today, that's why I picked him. If he isn't motivated and isn't ready to play well in the Champions League final, I honestly thought this was the game that was going to make or break him. And I said to you, I thought Sterling was going to have an absolute blinder today.
Yeah.
And it was the perfect opportunity for him to silence every critic.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's doubled, trebled, and quadrupled every critic and more.
Yeah, he is shithoused himself on a massive level tonight.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed. Chris, can I just leave you for 2 minutes to have a slate on him, pal? Go on, pal. Go in. Go ahead. Crack on.
Your flowers now.
Honestly, in his defence, yes, I mean, I totally agree with what Dave said. I think he's basically said, look, Raheem, everyone thinks you're shit. Go prove them wrong. But he's then done that. And then with the other hand, he's like, yeah, but we're not going to play the normal way. We're not going to play the style of football that sort of made you a world-class player. we're going to play something totally different. So it's like, well, imagine if bloody Lewis Hamilton suddenly like did really shit in the F1, and Ferrari turned around and said, you know what, guys, right? Don't worry about it. You still got a contract next year. Go out there and win the F1. You're not doing it in our best car. You're going to do it in a shit one
Thomas
instead.
Tuchel walk into the Chelsea changing room, spraying champagne on every absolute player, and I can't help thinking to myself, that could be Pep, but Pep decided to do something different. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, mate.
Am I wrong?
Not wrong.
Dave,
No.
tell me I'm wrong, pal.
No,
Did Pep fuck up tonight? Did Pep fuck up?
I think he did. I think that's not Gundo's position. I mean, I heard that Gundo was carrying an injury anyway. He walked off the training field yesterday, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Gundo's not. It's not his position. None of the players showed up, but I think they would have done if we played our natural formation and we'd had our club captain, which I've been saying for the last week. Surely you play your club captain in potentially his final ever game for City in the final.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing, them throwing the captain armband around when De Bruyne went off. My kids were asking me, well, who becomes captain now?
Sterling.
I think it was
Sterling's not a captain. Sterling is not City's captain. Jesus fucking Christ. If I see Raheem Sterling wearing City's captain's armband, I am fucking my shirt off.
No, he wasn't he?
Yeah.
When KDB went off, he was
absolutely embarrassing.
I don't understand in a game of that magnitude and your club captain, who by all accounts has really pushed that team to the title with some rousing changing room speech apparently earlier this season, why you would not play one of the best defensive midfielders of all time and your club captain in the final. I don't get it.
He fucked up, Dave.
Just don't get it.
He fucked up, Dave. He fucked up on a massive scale.
Yeah.
He did. There's no like two ways about that. Honestly, you say that, and I think to myself, what's the reason behind it?
There is one refreshing thing about it, though, Tom, is yourself in that matter. You were pro Pep on a massive scale to the point where, and I know you'll understand where I come from this, where people like me and Laney in particular were like, you're blind, mate. You are blind to what's happening, and it's awful to say, but it's a joy to see that you actually understand where we've been coming from, if you know what I mean.
Don't get excited, Dan.
No, but that's the
Tom
thing.
was like this after Leon as well, so I'm giving it a week or so to settle down before we.
But it's amazing how many City fans out there are not blaming Pep, even for a percentage. I've spoken to about 20 different City fans tonight that say Pep is not at fault at all. It's the players' fault.
No, there's no two ways about this. This is Pep's fault. It's the formation, the tactics, the team selection, the captaincy. This is definitely Pep's fault. However, I don't want anyone else managing City. I would not want anybody else managing City. I don't want Pep to go. I would want him here next season. I would want him to do the same thing again next season. However, learn from your mistakes. There's no two ways about the City Pep thing. He fucked up, but you know what, mate, my 8-year-old son fucked up at martial arts last Friday. Do I fuck him off for another kid? No, I'm right behind him.
Yeah, I don't want anyone else there. We are Premiership champions again. We are League Cup champions for the fourth year running. I think you're right, Dan. I think he will learn from this, and there is players going to come in. There is players going to go out. again over the next 12 months, and we will take it again. I don't want. You've got to bear in mind that the players that he has right now. I love Antonio Conte as a manager, I really do. But imagine if he came in.
He's a Mancini for me.
But the players that are City there right now, the players know how to play Pep's way. You bring in a new manager, whoever that is. I honestly believe that's a wholesale change, and that's not going to happen at City. So I think you've got to stick with Pep, and you've got to hope that he learned from his mistake. And Chris, I see you shaking your head, and he's learned from his mistake with Leon. I think he did, because we went from a quarter-final to getting to a final.
That's progress.
Now he's got to learn from the mistake of I know how to get to a final. Now I need to learn how to win that final.
Easy. Well, let's just say in 12 months' time we're back in the same spot. The one thing, and it's not. In fact, you know what? It's not Pep. Because I've resigned to the fact Pep's never going to go now. I think even if he died, he'd still probably take charge of the next game, because whatever it is. But honestly, you know what? You kind of hit the nail on the head. Then you said the players that we've got know how to play the Pep way. Now tonight we didn't play that way. That's a simple fact. Pep didn't play Pep style of football because the guy's a tit. You know, so the City players need to take a leaf out of Kepa's book and just rebel. Just say, "Oi, Pep, have a Snickers. You're being a drama queen. Fuck off. You sit down, put your feet up. Fernandinho, sub yourself on. They know how to play the Pep way. Just sort yourselves out. When he starts shouting and bothering, just fucking ignore him. Shut up, you fucking daft Spanish twat. And just play the fucking football you've been playing for so many years. It's not rocket science."
Oh, Shakespeare's words right there.
That honestly would have done it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was lucky. I got to speak to Nicky Weaver after the game on BBC Radio Manchester, and I said to him, like, you know what? I'll stand by this point. Didn't matter if we won tonight or not. It's one game. It's against Chelsea. It's effectively, it was a league match played in Porto. We lost. If we won tonight, we'd have all been chuffed. Pep would have been the best thing ever, and everyone would have been singing his praises. He'd have been straight in the wank bank. That'd have been it. We lost. Who gives a shit? You know, as Lister would say, who gives a smeg? There's still going to be more titles. There's still going to be more domestic cups. There's still going to be more Champions League football. There's going to be more fun. It's going to happen. I said the other day, the biggest game we had was Nicky Weaver saving that penalty.
Listen, lads,
And
right,
basically
let's
saving
just,
our club.
let me just jump in for a brief second. We have come so far in 22 years since the Nicky Weaver moment. Let's just have a moment of simplicity to sit back and go, do you know what? I was priming myself for the win tonight, as was every other City fan. We've not won. We are the Premier League champions. We are the Carling Cup champions. Whatever you want to be. And you know what, lads? We go again next year.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that can happen tonight is our pride has been bruised massively. And my pride has been bruised massively because I was not expecting a win. I expected us to be the best that we can be. And I don't think we were tonight. I just don't think we were the best that we can be. And that is disappointing. And that really, really grates me a little bit more than anything else. But you know what?
Shit happens.
We go again, don't we, lads? We absolutely go again. Dave, you're going to be here next year. Chris, you're going to be here next year. I want you to change your hair colour a little bit. Dan, You're going to be here next year. We're all going to be again next year,
Am I?
lads. And do you know what? The best thing that we can establish for tonight is we go again, lads.
We do. I honestly, out of all of this, all I want us to do is have a better start to the season than we did do the season just now, where in one spot we were in 12th, were we, at one time this season? I mean, and I know a lot came down to the pandemic and, you know, the season starting late and, you know, all the amalgamation of other things. But, and I know we've got Euro 2020 starting, and then the players are going to get 2 weeks or something like that. All I hope is that we can come back and defend that title. Liverpool, United, Chelsea are all going to be stronger, but we put up a good fight, and we don't find ourselves in 12th spot, you know, at the end of the year. That's all I hope. I'm the same. 22 years ago, we were at Wembley celebrating getting out of League One, and I've been to Main Road, and I've been there. You know, I'm a Kipax boy, and standing on a Tuesday night in the freezing cold, losing at home to Oldham. I'm still pinching myself that we're in the Champions League final. It will. I have said for the longest time, it will come. It really will come, but I maintain it's going to be a little while longer yet. We still need to figure this out. From my opinion, Chris, we figured out how to get through a quarter-final, and we got to a final, and then we lost the final, and now we need to figure out how to win a final. It's happened to all. It's happened to all the big teams, and that's just the way it's going to be.
For me, I mean, I've got to say, I know Tom was saying about our pride. Jesus Christ, I remember standing in the open air stand at Main Road, watching Danny Allsop get a consolation goal against Mansfield Town.
Gene Kelly, yeah.
It's you know, it was.
Jesus,
that
you
was
lads
dire.
make me feel like a bloody baby.
Listen, lads, City tonight lost the Champions League final. I'm so frustrated about that. But you know what? I'm not gonna lose a night's sleep over this tonight. I'm gonna go to bed tonight in 20 minutes. I'm gonna have a gin, maybe a cheeky rum and coke. But you know what? City lost the Champions League final. Am I pissed off at it? Yeah, I'm fucking annoyed, mate. But am I gonna be here next season? Yeah, fucking am. I'm gonna be sat right here.
Yeah.
Right back here, I'm gonna be arguing the toss about Zinchenko and Cancelo playing left back, and I'm gonna be arguing the toss about Raheem Sterling playing centre midfield or left wing back or left back wanker, left back wanker that he should have played tonight. My bad. He should have been though, shouldn't he? Do you know what? I love football. I love this game. I love it so much, but I'm so miffed.
It doesn't matter. We chalk this up. It's the Euros in a couple of weeks. I'm so happy about that. I love the big tournaments. Love watching them.
Chris gets to cheer on Wales.
Ooh.
It's the only team in the top cup competitions.
Then we go again, and then it's 2 weeks off basically, and then the Premier League starts again. It's brilliant.
You got to think as well, compared to what I would call our rivals. You look at United, yeah, they won a treble, they won 13 Premier Leagues and stuff. United didn't win it; it was Fergie, and they've not got him anymore, and they're a sack of they've won however many European Cups. They can only focus on one competition at a time. They don't win doubles, they don't win trebles, or all four domestic competitions. They can do one thing.
They can't win anything at all.
Tottenham, Jesus Christ, they're every woman's wet dream because they always come second. Arsenal, again, they're just happy turning up. And Chelsea, again, they're nothing massively special. They've done all right this year with Tuchel, but they sort of, they're like a tampon. They're all right one.
No. I'll stop you there. Mate. They won the Champions League final. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
That's
They did
impressive.
today, yeah.
No, it's impressive. There's no two ways about it, mate. They've won a major
Look at what City
trophy.
have won.
And I tell you what,
Last 10 years.
they will be in the top 4 next season, and they will be right on our arseholes tomorrow.
Easy.
Yeah. Chelsea next year will be right on our arseholes next year because they will be chomping at the bit to win the season off City. So we need to be on it next year. So what changes do we need to make next year? What do we need to do? Because Chelsea are going to be banging tomorrow. Tomorrow, Chelsea would be like, is it the season yet? Is it the season yet? What's happening? Are we starting? Can we start the season now? Can we start the season now? They will be...
We need a striker.
Malin.
Striker. Because again, 1-0 down, he brings Aguero on. You can't do long balls and long throw-ins to someone who's 5'9". He's not going to work,
Yeah, Sergio's gone now, isn't he? That's it, Sergio's gone.
Sergio is gone.
We need a striker. That's be all and end all. We need a striker. End of.
Yeah.
And then we go. To be honest, I'm not even expecting semi-final Champions League next year. I think we'll have a bit of a dodgy year Champions League next year. But I think for the year after, I think that'll be the one to watch.
What's that, Paul?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I was just saying, I'm not expecting Champions League performances next year from. I won't be surprised if we go out in the quarters, if not earlier. But I think it'll be the year after. I think we'll gel.
Yeah.
I think a couple of new signings next season, teeth in for 12 months, and then the season after that, so 22-23 season. If we don't win everything, then I'm going to go Sport
Yeah. I would agree with that, Chris.
The thing is, I'm firmly expecting us next season to go and win the Champions League next season. I'm firmly expecting us to kick on from this to go bang. That's it. Pep's going to learn from his mistakes. Pep's going to actually learn from his Leon Chelsea mistakes and go and perform. If he's not learning from that, then what's he learning from?
You know what might actually do him a bit of good? Get a really
learning from a final.
Getting that suitcase and getting on a plane and not coming back.
I was thinking just get a really well, it doesn't matter what sort of group stage we get, but just get a group stage where we don't have it easy, whether it's for suspension, injuries, whatever. And we finish third in the group and end up in the Europa League. Go and win that.
No.
Go and win that. If you go again, it's better than now. It's a learning curve. He needs a bit of reality. Reality. Just take it a little easier than the way he is doing, instead of stressing out, and making daft mistakes.
Completely disagree. We're talking about a man that's won the League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, and hell, the Community Shield, if you want to throw that in there. Why does he need to take a step back? He's got us to the final. Add to what we've got.
Again?
Yeah,
he's got to. So, again, Champions League football, he fluffed against Leon, and he's now just been beaten 3 times in 6 weeks by Chelsea.
But we've progressed. Have we progressed?
No, no, we've not. Not progressed.
Hang on, when was the last time we were in a final?
City have not progressed in 3 weeks.
No,
do you know what, Dan? This is the first final we have lost since Wigan.
That was a clusterfuck himself. But to be fair, that was the manager's fault then.
But that's what you say. Oh, when was the last time we were final of the Champions League, final of the Europa League, final of the FA Cup, League Cup? But it doesn't matter. This is the first final we have got to and lost since Wigan.
Is that right? Is that right, Laney?
So I can't think of a final we fluffed a couple. We didn't get to the FA Cup final.
Yeah, we've had a couple of semi-final losses, haven't we? But I don't think we've lost a final.
That is a massive fuck up.
And like you said, Wigan, that was the manager's balls up. He chose Joe Hart over Pantilimon.
And to be fair, Mancini knew he was leaving then.
So he didn't give a rat's ass anyway.
But
that
Pep's
just
not
tells
going. But Pep's not going anywhere, is he, lads? Pep's not going anywhere.
I don't know. I've got some free time tomorrow.
If you want to look at it another way, then, as Chris said, I don't think Pep's going anywhere until he wins the Champions League with City. And whether that's in year, whether that's in 2 years, whether that's in 5, I honestly believe he's not leaving until he's
Pep's
lifted
going
that,
somewhere. I'm bloody
trophy.
telling you, Pep's going somewhere.
Pep Guardiola could die and be cremated, and they will get in some gypsy sightseer with a teapot, rolling his ashes around in a cup to pick the team, and it will still be Pep picking the team.
But the thing
He
is,
ain't going anywhere.
Cillian Murphy, the new Manchester City manager.
I would not want anybody else managing City other than Pep Guardiola. This is the thing.
One day Pep will go, and when he does go, we will still win shit. Am I the only one who seems to think that?
No, you're not.
It's not
No,
the be
you're
all
not.
and end all.
No, you're not. But let's just stick with Pep while
Get King Clancy in charge.
The guy can't even run a wine bar in Didsbury. Why the fuck would he want King Clancy?
Company.
I honestly believe it'll be company, but he needs to cut his teeth in Belgium first, and he needs to show that he
with
can.
company assistant manager and Zabaleta as head, first team coach. I'd be chuffed.
Joe Hart, ball boy. Where's the fucking ball?
They just need to cut their teeth, Chris. That's all it is for me. I think that's the natural progression, but they need to cut the teeth first. Look what's happened to Arteta. They thought that was going to be the godsend at Arsenal, and he's done crap. Company is wise enough to know if he came back to City now, he'd ruin his legacy. He ain't going to do it. No. He needs more time in Belgium to prove himself, and then he'll come to City. I'm absolutely sure of it. But I'm more than happy with Pep for now. He'll keep learning. He'll keep learning.
One thing regarding Pep, there's one thing in terms of learning, Dave, that I'd love to see, and that's a number 2 that actually challenges him. That Juan Manuel. He's the most pointless bloke.
Hang on. Don't argue. Juan Manuel.
Know him well, dear.
No,
I was going to say about 2 weeks ago, I had to keep telling you who the hell he was.
I think you grossly underestimated. I've got a few. I'll send a link to you about him, and I agreed with you. I totally agreed with you. 100% agreed with you. Who is he? Blah 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 blah. A bit of research later. Actually, do you know what? He reports to him, and do you know what? It's a good show. I'll send it over to you.
Well, the one moment that it does matters is in the game, and I've never seen him once talk to Pep and tell him to do this.
Well, that's. I don't really think that's his job, to be honest.
Pep's certainly not doing it, though. Let's be honest.
No.
When it matters.
Oh, come on. Premier League title. You've
just all shot me down saying we've not progressed under Pep when I was defending him, and you say no, we've not progressed under Pep, and then the moment I say he's doing something that needs to happen.
I don't think anyone's shut you down.
To be honest, maybe it wasn't even Pep who got us to the Champions League final though this year.
Sterling.
We all know it was Kate Winslet and her appearance.
Kate Winslet. Where's she gone?
Well,
good. She didn't win for us today, that's for sure.
Even Kate can't do miracles. But
she sank her last boyfriend down to the bottom of the bloody ocean. What do you think she's going to do a whole football team, for Christ's sake? She doesn't care about blokes. She's a feminist. I don't know where that went. Anyway, boys, I'm going to disappear because it's very late and I've got 2 young girls sleeping over tonight.
It's bedtime, lads. So,
what are you going to do?
We go again next year. We go again. To be fair, actually, I think we've got another show, at least one show in us before next weekend. So, we go again. Love you, loads, boys.
Can I just add to that, Tom?
Hey?
Can I just add to what you've just said there?
Yeah, of course you can.
Chris, just lower your camera to about there. Dave, do the same. Tom, do the same. Look what we're up. No, Tom, do the same. Come on, we can all know you've got a few drinks in there.
Go with your tits, Tom.
Look what we're all wearing. We'll never stop.
The
We
thing
can lose as many fans as we want.
we're wearing them more in our sleeves than Raheem Sterling's going to be wearing tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
Sorry,
we're wearing a
boys.
few buttons across the back of the backside
Yeah,
tonight,
sorry
that's
about
for sure. But
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But you know what? It could be worse, Dave. We could be playing York away.
Okay, we could be in York right now.
We could be playing York away. Listen,
Maybe
lads,
the train back to Manchester.
love you loads. I'll see you in a few days.
take care.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
as City
Before
Dave
we
always
die.
says,
As
See you later, guys.
City Dave always
See you later.
says, fuck the red bastards.